What would it be like to never be driven away? To never have a door closed in your face? To never be told there is no room for you? To never have someone whisper insults behind your back or to your face? What would it be like to never have to run or hide or cower for your own safety? How would you hold yourself if you knew that all of who you are would be welcomed with open arms? Jesus says, "Anyone who comes to me, I will never drive away." Anyone who comes to me, I will never drive away. Can you imagine such an encounter? Such welcome, such healing. "25 years ago, I carried Matt's ashes in my lap as my spouse drove us to the church for the funeral, our 1-year-old safely buckled into a car seat in the back. We turned a corner and suddenly encountered hate. Protesters shouting and wielding hateful signs, Matt's face with ugly words. Some of these signs carried by children. I instinctively shielded the precious burden in my lap as I simultaneously threw a mother's protective love over our own child, not wanting a wisp of that hate to touch them. 5 years ago at this cathedral, instead of hateful signs, it was the rainbow flag that welcomed us. Our profound sorrow enfolded by love. And now, tonight, a return, a remembrance, a time of pilgrimage. I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where is my help to come? The psalmist echoes for all time our yearning in a broken world, our searching for relief and solace, and our determination to hope. This is a psalm sung by those making pilgrimage, the physical and ritual journey to a sacred place in order to encounter the divine and gain what? Perhaps wisdom, perhaps sustenance, perhaps just an inkling that the brokenness around us and within us is not the whole story. And you know, a pilgrimage is not about the destination. It encompasses all of the landscapes traversed, the steps taken, the exertion and fatigue and growing strength, the contemplation and wandering thoughts and emerging vision. the doubts. For me, perhaps for you, this is a time and a moment of pilgrimage. And yes, Matt's resting place is a sacred destination for me. And it is so much more. This moment calls me to reflect on the landscapes I have traversed to arrive here with all of you. Before I was ordained a priest in the Episcopal Church 28 years ago, I was already struggling with a church that did not fully accept the plurality of gender identity expressed in God's creation. Although it took longer than I wanted, that has changed. Thanks be to God. And when someone on a New York City subway complimented my infant child saying, "She's gonna turn some boy's head someday," without a beat I said, "Or some girls." Little did I know how true that would be. Sophie, our oldest, would be a teen before they identified themselves as non-binary. Proud mother of a gender-fluid, non-binary lesbian. And we are so proud of them. And proud of a church that offered a session on queering the Bible at the Episcopal youth event Sophie attended as a teen. And grateful for a congregation that supported them with love through their teen years. As a matter of fact, Sophie came out to their Sunday school class before formally mentioning it to me and Jim. This is the church at its best. And this is the kind of community that is possible, which is why I continue to practice hope. Now, a pilgrim doesn't get to remain at the sacred site or even in that moment of sacred encounter, but moves on, heads toward home, re-engages with everyday life. And so this time here tonight together is also about resolve. It calls me to gather up all that has brought me here to this moment and see what I can make of it. What can I weave from these strands, from each of your presences, from the artistry of song and poetry and prayer inspired by Matt's story, from tears, sighs, wistfulness, from the admirable courage and witness of Judy and Dennis and Logan and so many of you. And so what I knew 25 years ago, I still know that we are each created in God's image, the image of love. We are each, every one of us, beloved of God. Matt, you, me. And God's love for us, unbelievably, is irrevocable. Now, there are people and institutions in the world who speak and act otherwise, who will tell someone that they are not welcome, who want you to believe you are less than, not lovable, who insist there are parts of who we are that must be hidden away, and all of that is a shameful lie of the enemy and has no place here or in your heart. The voice of God is the voice of love. It's the voice of Jesus who says, anyone who comes to me, I will never drive away. A pilgrim doesn't remain at the sacred site of the encounter, but moves on, heads towards home, re-engages with everyday life. Our time here tonight together also calls each of us to resolve, to gather up all that has brought you here to this moment and see what you can make of it.